Oh, I thought I heard your car. This is the most perfect timing.
I had to get out of that place. They were going to drive me crazy in there.
I'd ask if you had a tough day, but
You know, it's
think
incredible.
I already know.
Why can't criminals work the same way as normal people and take a day off every now and again?
Well, of course, if your caseload is too big,
No. I'm not asking for any help.
All right, then we'll play, just the two of us. How does a nice long walk sound?
Considering that the forecast says snow, I think it's a bad idea.
Well, we'll stay in then.
Well, I got work to do on the computer.
How about poker? We could stay and play poker, maybe even better, strip poker. How does that sound?
Holly, love, I've got work to do. That's the reason I came home. I want to play with the computer.
Oh. I'll get it. Hello? Yeah, yes, he's right here. Mr. Armistead?
This is Scorpio.
I'm glad I caught you, Commissioner. The strangest thing has happened, and I'm not sure what to do about it. At first, my reaction was to forget it. But now I'm not so sure.
Well, perhaps if you explain the situation.
Oh, of course. It concerns Dr. Campbell.
What about it?
Well, this may sound strange to you, but I'm beginning to think he's disappeared. I just got another call from Dr. Tremaine in London.
The head of Putnam Sanitarium.
Yes, he's been trying to track down Dr. Campbell for several days now, and he hasn't had any luck. He's tried all of Campbell's colleagues in this country.
Well, why the alarm?
Well, apparently psychiatrists always keep in touch, like physicians, you know?
Well, maybe Campbell's having himself a high old time in New York.
Tremaine seems to think that Campbell's unavailability is highly irregular.
Then I guess it's not for me to take this lightly.
Oh, are you?
I'd be tempted.
Well, I wouldn't if I were you. I mean, Campbell's due back and Tremaine's highly concerned. And I'm passing this on to you for what it's worth.
What is all your interest in this, Mr. Armistead?
Well, there was something in Tremaine's voice. He sounded, well, as if he were expecting bad news of some sort.
London's a long way away. Maybe it was the connection.
Well, I know his voice, Commissioner. The man is alarmed.
All right. Well, I'll look into it. If Campbell took any form of public transportation, I should be able to track it.
You can reach me here if you find anything. I'm at my office.
All right. Give me an hour or two and I'll get back to you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Don't mention it. Did you pick up on any of that?
Enough to know that someone is missing.
Dr. Hilary Campbell, Grant Putnam's psychiatrist.
How missing is missing?
Well, enough to worry his boss back in London. I think I better give Putnam a call. If Campbell told anybody anything, it would have been him.
He's at the Port Charles Hotel, isn't he?
I believe so.
I guess this means that the rest of your afternoon is going to be tied up.
Looks that way.
What I would give just to have one afternoon alone with you.
Hello? Yes, I'd like to speak to Grant Putnam, please. Please have a seat. I won't keep you too long. You mentioned on the phone something about research.
Yes, for my med school entrance exams. I've got an awful lot of catching up to do.
I can imagine.
Robert and I were just saying the other day how interesting it is that yours and Grant Andrews' lives are moving along in a parallel fashion.
There's one big difference. He'll be finishing his education, and I'm just starting mine.
Yes, he had all those years in England, didn't he?
We both did, Mr. Scorpio. Now tell me, is this why you called me over here, to discuss the other grant?
No, it's another matter altogether.
I'll get us some coffee.
Thanks, love.
She's welcome to stay.
Well, I felt that you may have been more comfortable. I had a call from your friend, Mr. Armistead, from New York. He'd been contacted by Dr. Tremaine, regarding the whereabouts of Dr. Campbell.
Yes, Henry called me also. All I could tell him was that Dr. Campbell had left for New York.
When?
A couple or 3 days ago.
Have you heard from him since?
Not a word.
I see. Well, do you find that strange in any way? Maybe out of the ordinary?
Not really. He's working on a book, and I assume he just needed a few moments of privacy. You do know, I assume, that I'm going to be one of his important chapters in that book.
No, I didn't.
We had some rather lengthy discussions on it.
So you'll be expecting to hear from him again?
Yeah, I'm sure I will. If not during the editing process, then sometime afterwards. He promised that he would autograph a copy for me.
I see. Maybe you'll be in for a cut of the profits. I mean, as you're one of the main reasons that will sell the book.
No spotlight for me. Thank you very much. Anything that Dr. Campbell makes off the book, I owe him. If it weren't for that man, I'd still be number 402 back at Rockmore.
Anyone interested in coffee?
Oh, thank you very much. I'd better pass. I've got those books waiting for me.
Well, that's quite all right. We'll be in touch. And good luck on your exams.
Thank you very much, sir. Mrs. Scorpio, a pleasure. Thank you.
Did you catch any of that dialogue between Putnam and me?
I couldn't help it. It's not difficult from the kitchen.
So what do you think? I mean, is it possible for a man like Campbell to just evaporate into thin air?
As a matter of fact, I haven't thought about it.
Really? I thought your overactive little imagination would be going crazy at the thought of another mystery, which is what could be the case here.
I know. But this time it was different. I couldn't get past being spooked by that man's incredible resemblance to our Grant. You've already confirmed that he's taking the plane from Port Charleston, New York. What are you doing now?
Seeing if he's on any outgoing manifests.
To London, for instance.
Doesn't show. Not London, or anywhere else for that matter.
You sure?
Not by airplane.
But that still leaves buses and trains.
Doesn't figure. I mean, you take a flight somewhere, you get off the plane and you stay, you get back on it again and you come back.
So you think he's still in New York?
That's my guess.
Well, it's a big city. If he wanted to get lost there, he could.
Question is, why would he?
Not knowing him, I have no idea.
I mean, I can understand somebody going to New York. I mean, business, 1,000 other reasons.
But you're wondering why he hasn't called anybody.
I'm wondering why everyone is so concerned about him.
Well, what are you going to do? If you call the NYPD, they'll just laugh at you.
Not Ellingsby.
Who's he?
He's a buddy of mine from the WSB. Works for the NYPD now. Has done for about a year. Tom Ellingsby, please. Robert Scorpio.
Must be nice having friends in all the right places.
Comes in very handy. Tom? It's Scorpio. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, I can imagine. Listen, mate, this won't take a second. I got a problem here. I'm trying to trace someone. A guy called Dr. Hilary Campbell left New York a couple of days ago and no one's heard anything. Yeah. Thank you. He's going to run it through the computer. They have computers, you know.
Should hope so.
He's doing just a general routine on the name. What? Of course I'm here. Don't brag. I know it was quick. No kidding. Yeah? What about a follow-up? Nothing, eh? Okay. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thanks, Tom.
Well?
They got a panic call from a Dr. Hilary Campbell at the airport. Said he was being mugged. When they got there, the phone was off the hook. Campbell was missing.
Foul play, huh?
Looks that way.
What are you going to do?
Only thing I can do. Pursue it.
Can I help?
Oh, yeah. Give me some more coffee.
That's it?
A little easier on the cream.
You're welcome. I know, I should have called first.
No, use the excuse I always use. You were in the neighborhood.
I'm bored and I don't like it, so I came over here for a little excitement. Would you believe it? All the excitement I've been through in the last year, and the first slow day comes along, I'm ready to scream.
Interesting coincidence.
I'm having the same kind of day myself. We'll mourn together.
Are things really that bad?
No, actually, they're not. Grant has just passed his first pre-med exam. He's got a date for his second. He has to take them one at a time. It doesn't seem to bother him at all.
But how about you?
Well, I'm preparing a folder to show Lorena Sharp of Avalon Spas. I'm shooting for a position as design consultant, but to tell you the truth, I'd take pool man.
Listen to you, as if they'd be dumb enough to pass you up.
You never know with designing. It's so completely arbitrary. One day you're somebody, and the next day you're sweeping floors.
Well, at least you have a career.
Yeah.
Don't you want one?
To tell you the truth, it is not the life I envision for myself. I like it. I do. I enjoy it. But when I think of what could have been,
A doctor's wife?
no, even before that, the adventure, the nightlife, jetting off to the Bahamas. You know, I think it's that time of year.
Yes. I certainly won't argue with you. That was a very nice way of living.
You sound like a spoiled brat.
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, I miss those things myself.
Don't get me wrong. I am not putting down Port Charles. I think it's a very sweet, charming place.
It's just not New York.
Not even close.
I know exactly how you feel. It's like going back to an amusement park over and over again. After a while, the thrill is gone and you wonder what you're doing there.
You know, maybe I think that you should start thinking about getting a job, too.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
Well, so what's keeping you, then?
I don't know what I want to do.
Well, what about the spas?
What about it?
I'm sure there are going to be plenty of jobs available.
Well, I'll think about it. Meanwhile, we're stuck with another evening with nothing to do.
No, you're stuck. I've got to go back to Kelly's. Kelly's. And meet Grant.
Ooh, that reminds me. The other Grant was here today.
I know, I saw him at Kelly's.
Did he mention Dr. Campbell?
Briefly. He seems concerned along with everyone else.
I'm sure Robert will track him down.
Holly, tell me something. What do you think of Grant?
Grant Putnam?
Mm-hmm.
He was friendly, charming. He certainly wasn't what I expected. Why?
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
If you find yourself attracted to him, it's only natural.
No. Attracted to, no. Curious about, perhaps.
Be careful.
Oh, Holly, don't be ridiculous. Oh, I've got to go.
Celia,
What?
I meant what I said. Be careful.
You worry too much. I'll see you at the spa, huh?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. You keep me posted? Good man. Yeah, we'll get together soon. Talk then. Bye-bye.
This is good. This is the closest I've come to winning this evening.
I may have commenced a winning streak myself.
You've got something?
That was my cop mate on the phone. They've just pulled in this vagrant pickpocket. Guess what he had on him? A little watch engraved on the inside to Dr. Hilary Campbell.
I'd call that a pretty substantial lead.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Well, what are you going to do?
Head off to the Big Apple Monday morning. I want to be there when they question this vagrant.
What about me?
Red 7 under the black 8.